Legends of the game. With every kick and score, we'll let our name. Rising higher, fueled by our love for the game. Kicking back with mates, we'll never be the same. In the metal storm, our hearts beat in sync. Liverpool forever, we'll never let it sink. Our passion runs deep, fueled by camaraderie. Together we stand bound by this harmony. From Merseyside's turf to the world, we'll go. With every challenge faced, our spirit will glow.
All right, everybody, welcome to the latest edition of Kicking It Back with Matt. Today we're going to be kicking it with many-time guests, Henry and John. Boys, how are we?
Always a pleasure, man. Happy to be here.
So I've been out of the country for a while, enjoying vacation and getting some downtime. You got to catch me up to speed with our boys from Liverpool. How are we looking? How we been doing?
I'm going to say we need to take this as two very different conversations. Champions League conversation, Premier League conversation.
So start with the Prem.
Ooh, man, the Prem's been ugly. You picked a good time to get out of the country. I got the results for January up here, and if we go through them, going back to the first. 0-0 at Leeds, or against Leeds. 2-2 Fulham. 0-0 with Arsenal. And then 1-1 with Burnley. Finally, you get to the Bournemouth game. It's not a draw, but we lose it 3-2. And they sneak out a win at the very end of the month. So this month is in the Prem, 1 win, 3 draws and a loss? Miserable.
Late goals, too. All late goals.
The Bournemouth goal was in the last minute, right?
Literally the last minute.
And was it a corner?
Uh-huh.
Liverpool had just tied it up about 10, 15 minutes earlier with Szoboszlai. And, just ended the game, ball rattling around the box that they stuck in the back of the net because, we've been saying it all year. I feel like a broken record, but the set piece defending and the production at the other end with goals has not been.
He's a bit choppy.
Yeah, not losing, but tying Burnley and tying Leeds, that can't happen. Burnley's in 19th. Leeds has got to be, 15th, 16th right now?
Yeah. If you watch the games, too, it's just a really, really lackluster Liverpool. I don't know how many times me and John texted each other, just fight. Just do something. Push. Run into the box. Put in Rio. We were asking for Rio so many times because we needed a breath of fresh air. We're just dude, this is just not good. I don't know what I'm watching.
That's not even just us saying it at this point. I hear it all the time. But, the fact that we just keep rolling Gakpo out on the left-hand side and not making a change until 75, 80 minutes in when the game is calling for someone to run at players. And I like Gakpo, but he's going to do the same thing every time. He's going to step you to the byline, take it inside, and either curl across or take a shot. Every single time.
John, hold up. Go back to the Newcastle game on Saturday. That dude in the last 15 minutes of that game was hell-bent on banging in a goal.
Yeah, he was trying.
And he turned so selfish, in my opinion, of what he was trying to do. And he did exactly what John just said and described 5 times in the last 15 minutes.
You want to know John's reply when he watched that happen over and over again? He says, God, I wish we had Diaz. That was his reply. Because he's again, he's going to do it again. And I was like, dude, even Elliot, when I was at MJ's, goes, he's going to do it one more time. And then he did. I was just like, geez, guy, bro, dude.
What drives me nuts is, especially when you have the issues that Liverpool have had this year with breaking down a deep lying back line. The easiest way to do that is to get 1 or 2 players that are going to take the ball, look their defender in the eye, and go, I'm going past you. Because once you're behind the defensive line, all that structure, all those deep line players, they don't mean anything. But you got to beat your man. And if your man knows that, I can show you this way and you're going to go there every single time, you're not going to be effective.
Wasn't Chiesa open in one of those too when he was trying to run on the left-hand side?
Mhm.
Somebody on the right-hand side was completely wide open, and that
You could have
possibly
cut it across the top of the 6-yard box. It probably was a tap in for anyone crashing the back post.
I think
He came
anybody
back
that
in
was
and whipped it.
yeah. I was just like, bro, what are you
And
doing,
again,
man?
I don't dislike Gakpo. I just think right now he's kind of being put into this role as, the guy in the left wing who has to be out there and create a little something. But he's not that guy. He's a super sub. He's supposed to come in and change the game up from someone who doesn't do that. From the Diaz who is going to run at the defender. Now the guy is exhausted. Okay, now Cody's going to get a yard of space to cut inside because the defender is going to honor his speed because he's just been running against another player for 70, 80 minutes. That's where Diaz or Gakpo has been most impactful at Liverpool, is those kind of pop-up spots. The fact that he's getting this run out there every single week, I don't mind him starting every week, but when it's not working in the 60th minute, let's not wait another 25 minutes to change it up.
Yeah,
I
because he's
understand it.
spending a lot of energy doing exactly what John says over and over again. He's spending a lot of energy doing that, and we're not seeing any good results out of it. I mean, the same time as like a couple times we did see Gakpo take great, you tried a shot, but like John just said before, it was just so predictable where you're going to take it from and what you're going to do.
And again, he has hit them before, so he's got every right to try to take them. But when they haven't been working for almost a month, switch it up a bit. Lay it off. Cut it across the top of the 6. Something.
Yeah, I mean, I know it's footy, but they still watch film.
Yeah.
They still prepare and prep and look for tendencies. And when you see that same tendency over and over and over again, they're going to finally latch on and shut it down. So, like, from what I'm seeing is right, he would be coming down the channel, cut it back in, take the shot with his right. Now he's driving all the way down to the end line, totally cutting off his angle to put a shot on goal, and is trying to bury it back.
Yeah.
A lot of times he'll cut it back onto his right foot instead of playing it across with his left. It's almost like if Robertson or Kirkes don't overlap, a left-footed ball into the box is not an option. He'll bring it back onto his right, whip it in that way. Which, to your point, Matt, you're taking the angle out because now likely it's going to be an in-swinging ball. So you're taking out a lot of that cut back to the penalty spot, unless it's a perfect pass, which no defense in their right mind is going to leave that much space open. Unless, again, to our point earlier, you've driven at your defender, ran past him, and the entire defense is backtracking. But if they're able to set a deep line, it's just not going to work out.
No, and I mean that's what he's been complaining about the whole time too, right? The whole time Slot's been saying that over and over again. And it's just like that's how they play. I mean, remember when I think I said it to you, John? I was just like, I don't know why he doesn't try to run at the man even more, because all the people know what he's trying to do, and so they don't push him. They just know that he's going to run outside the box, so they don't want to push into him. So they're like, no, he's not going to come in crazy. So let him just go in the spot where he wants to go normally. I'm like, bro, go in there. Go run in there. I think you said it like maybe 2 weeks ago. Run at your guy. Go get
and that would be a beautiful thing because, like we're saying, defenders are expecting you to cut in.
Yeah,
so if anything, take a step to cut in and then drive byline. Whip the ball across the top. And I'm sure, I mean, with the way Ekatike's been playing, he'll be there to tap it in. Verts will be crashing the penalty spot. Zobazlai and whoever's playing out on the right are going to be coming into that back post. So the options will be there. But if you're going to cut in on your right and put it 5 feet over the crossbar, no one can do anything.
Yeah, you do it.
Wanted us to touch on be a lot more positive about than the Premier League in January. We had the Marseille win, which was nice and comfortable, 3-0. Evan Karabag, I mean, that game was over before it even started. No disrespect to them, but we with the expanded Champions League, I think we're going to see a lot more of these types of games where maybe not necessarily on a skill level, but I think I saw something. Carabao had to travel essentially the equivalent of Miami to Seattle was
Yeah,
their
I
trip
saw that on the
coming
map.
to Anfield. It's like the longest distance a visitor to Anfield has ever had to travel. And
Yeah, on the map, yeah, that was cool. That's actually cool though. I do like that though, like
I,
how
I
wide
think
it is
that's really
opening there.
cool when they show that. But I
Yeah.
think that also when you look at a 6-0 scoreline and go, wow, these two teams aren't in the same class, I think there is a little bit of that. But I think you put a 6-hour flight in there, a lot of people are going to be feeling a type of way, especially in the midweek. And I'm not
I
sure,
do.
but is Carabao one of those? Are they one of the teams that are just their leagues starting back up? I know there was a handful of them with the Champions League games where like the winter breaks were happening, so teams hadn't played in 3-4 weeks.
That could be. I mean, it could be. What I will say though, I do like at the list though. When you look at the final eight, I do like how eclectic they look now. It's not the predictable Real Madrid, this team, that team, all of that. That I really do like though. I do like that there is like definitely some different flavor in this kind of stuff. And also, you can't be nonchalant about playing your games anymore. Like, oh yeah, we already got
Let
this
me let
many
me
points.
let me challenge you on that because we look at the teams that made it through, and yeah, I think it was what all five of the English teams, and we got three others. Um, don't have to do the playoff. But when you look at the potential opponents that you would get as a result of these playoff results, in some of these matchups, don't it looks like you know finishing kind of closer to like 6, 7, 8 is more ideal than 1, 2, 3.
Oh, totally.
Based on what we've seen these last 2 years.
Yeah, I'll give you that. I'm not opposed to that either though, because like again, let's see what again this is the second year. So let's see how it goes down by like year three. How like really do they need to mix it up? Do they need to fix anything? Do they need to change anything? The one thing that stays the same, if they know if people are going to watch it, they're going to do it again, such as Manchester City and Real Madrid all the time. This time they're just like, hey, that Benfica Real Madrid game, let's do that again. And I'm just like, dude, that was not random. That was not random. I'm sorry. Especially how Jose celebrated. I'm like, no, I can't see how Florentino was like, hey, we want them again. And this time
Yeah.
we are going to do the
Oh, and I'm
remontada.
sorry,
We will.
that's going to be must-see TV.
Well, I'm definitely rooting for our little engine that could in Bodo Glimp.
Oh, see, but
I love those dudes.
That's super awesome though, because remember last year we talked about them, and I was like, "Oh man, they actually did a good run this
Mhm.
year, bro." And they didn't even play at home, right? Their win was away,
Yes.
correct? That's awesome. That's awesome.
I don't know how they're going to do against Inter, but we'll see.
Hopefully, it's cold enough if they have to play the game over
I
there.
mean, we didn't know how they were going to do against Tottenham, and they gave them a hell of a match.
Yeah.
Oof. Yeah.
I mean, they
And
showed
Spurs.
up, and yeah, they've showed up, and they've given a good accounting of themselves.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to go in reverse because I dropped out for some reason, technical difficulties. My apologies. But what I wanted to ask the two of you, I know we all watched the game on Saturday against Newcastle. Do we feel like we flipped the script? Oh, now John dropped. Do we feel like we flipped the script on our potential now?
I want to say yes. I really do want to say yes. But it's the one thing that me and John talked about even after we won the last game is the one thing we were worried about. Are we not really getting anybody else in? Because we need reinforcements badly, especially if we want to continue this trend of going down. What other competitions? We're in Champions League. No doubt we're in Prem trying to go for top four. And then Carabao
FA.
FA.
That's three competitions and again, also with players that we're completely out for probably for the rest of the season. Connor Bradley, we already know he's out. Frimpong, again, with his injuries off and on. Gomez with his injuries off and on. There's a little bit of worrisome. Konate, if he ever gets injured. Virgil Van, I mean, I don't have to say any of this stuff. You guys already know. You're just like me. You're watching it every week.
Well,
Right,
and
so-
that's why going out and getting Jeremy Jacquet seems like such a great move. But then you go and loan him back for the remainder of the season, and it's like, What did you just spend $60 million for? We need the coverage right now.
Right now.
But what about Gahey?
Please. Oh my God. I think I called John and we talked about it for a while while we were at work. While I was at work. It's disappointing. It's
So think
disappointing.
about it. They could have paid $40 million at the beginning of the campaign, had him for the whole year. Man City gets him for $26 million halfway through the year. So you're telling me that you got into a little pissing contest over negotiating for $14 million?
No, five.
The deal, it was a $5 million difference
It's
between
five.
Liverpool and Palace to sign the deal because they needed the extra $5 million to bring their replacement in.
Five.
That's what I mean.
Liverpool said you stuck to it. But now here's my other thing. You want to make it even a little more embarrassing? Man City sold Oscar Bob for more than they bought Gahey for.
Yeah.
Who's the better player?
Who is the better player?
And Oscar Bob's not a bad player.
No, he's great. No, he's a great player. But he's
saying. Palace wanted 40.
Gahey is leagues
right?
above
Palace
him.
wanted 40. We offered 35.
Mm-hmm.
Man City got him for 25, 26.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So for 9-10 million pounds over the for half a season when we really needed the coverage.
Mm-hmm. And the worst part is they say it's because of his wages. Well, if you had just covered that difference, you wouldn't have the issue.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So and then with Frimpong, I love the dude. I love his energy. I love his speed. I love how he just travels down that flank. But the dude's always hurt. That's not a good sign when you're 22, 23 years old and you're consistently hurt.
And it's muscle injuries.
Yeah, it's muscle injuries. What I did read a report where it is what they said is this weird transition between the Bundesliga and the Prem. So, but is the reason why you notice that he's trying to be a little more careful with Ikatike? We always notice he goes off early or comes in later. I think with the Frimpong thing, what are you watching in training in which you got to just be like, hey, dude, you got to, watch yourself a little bit. We kind of need you to just be chill out or be honest with us more if stuff hurts, or you feel any niggle or anything else like that. What's going on? And probably also at the same time is like, did you practice that in training too? Like, dude, I know you want to be like a bullet, but you keep on getting hurt, man. Like, figure that out. What's going on with that? I love him too. I think he's exceptional. It just sucks too that he might not be every starter at every game. And it's not concerning as of right now, but let's see next month when he comes back. Does it happen again? Then I'll be like, all right, well, yeah, let's look at that. What's going on?
If there's another injury this season, then I got some serious questions for either him or the medical staff advising him. Because something clearly isn't working if you have 3 hamstring pulls in a season.
Mm-hmm.
And there's something to be said about players that seem to just be pure speed, are prone to these types of injuries. And we've been absolutely spoiled with Salah, who is that speed type player who just always seems to be available. We kind of got lucky the same thing with Mane. But if you look at a lot of those types of players just over the years, they don't last. They have these peak seasons where they're brilliant and then the injuries add up and suddenly, they've lost a step at 26, 27. And I kind of worry, because he's heading down that path. It's a little bit of, Henry, one of your favorite players, that Daniel Sturridge worry. You're absolutely brilliant when you're available. But if I only have you for 16 games a year, I can't build on that.
Mm-mm.
But
yeah.
Again, I mean, Matt, you just said, my God, when he's on his pump, he's so much fun to watch down that right flank.
Oh, I love it, man. And he's like Sobo. He doesn't get tired.
No. And
endless energy.
It's endless energy. And one of the things I love is it's almost the exact opposite of Gakpo, where with Gakpo, everyone knows what he's going to do. So we'll let you do it and close you down once you're trying to do it. With Frimpong, they know what he's going to try to do. I'm going to kick it past you, run past you, and then cross it in from the byline. They know he's going to do it, and they can't stop it.
No.
He's just like, they give him 2-3 yards of space, and he goes, okay, knocks it 15 yards ahead, and I'll beat you over that gap. It's his pace is electrifying. Can't
I
wait for
also,
Mo and him to really hit stride together.
you know what I love about him though? You've seen it too, like you guys seen it. His self passing, like literally, sometimes someone's coming at him and he just bounces that ball just a little forward. He's like, "No, I'll get that. Don't worry about it." He's like, "I got it. Don't worry." You're like, "Dude, really? That's risky." He's like, "No, not for me. I got this." I'm like, "Dude, you're nuts." I
So,
love it.
so I want to get your guys' take on this and see if we're all on the same page. Hopefully, we are. But I think Ekitike is definitely finding his fit in the team, his getting more comfortable each game, being in the Prem. Those 2 strikes on Saturday, dude.
Brilliant. Brilliant.
Unbelievable. And I gotta also say, Wirtz,
Yep. I was
he is
the two of them linking up now. They're both kind of hitting their stride, and I think, you know, I'll be the first one to put my hand up. There was definitely a little bit of the panic button coming back in
totally.
October when things weren't working, but now that we can play Monday morning quarterback a little bit and look at it hopefully a little more rationally. I don't know how rational I actually can be, but you bring in almost half a team of new players, expecting to hit the ground running. They haven't really played together before. I think that's what we saw. The team was running really high on emotions those first 5 games, and we won them all. A lot of late goals, but then that emotion dips, and you know, can you keep doing that every week? And then the reality of the season hits. You're the defending champions. You got to get back up for it. Everyone's got a target on you. So everyone's getting, or you're getting everyone's best game. No one's taking you lightly or a write off or saying, we'll rest players for this game because such and such is next week. It's, oh no, that's the defending champions. I need to go win. So there's that component. Tactically, you've spent a year in the league. That means they have a year of film on you. Slot's been found out a little bit. He needs to evolve. But I do think Ekitike's hitting his grind. Verts looks to have put on about 5-6 pounds of muscle, and it's making a huge difference. He's playing a little quicker. He's not taking the extra touches. And his link up with Ekitike is, I'm loving it. And Ekitike, I keep hearing him compared to Fernando Torres, but for me, there's a little bit of Firmino in there, and that's what excites me about him.
I think he's got a little bit more flair than El Nino does.
He's got that tall, I can run behind you and just rip it into the top corner. But yeah, he's got the flair. He'll do the little tricks. He'll do the little no look passes. He has fun.
That second goal on Saturday, he showed that defender, like, I'm coming at you, and then I'm just gonna blow right by you.
Mm-hmm.
And like he had no problem doing it. And then, like we just said, like that ridiculous angle that he took that shot on was just fantastic.
I mean, there's another shot he set up where it was like little gives and goes where they just played right through 5 people. And it was like, this is what we've been asking for. Like, this is because the team can have 80% possession and, that's all good and fun. But if you're having it in your own half, you're not hurting anyone. But when you start getting those little passes together around the box and in the opponent's box, that's when you're starting to be dangerous. And we've seen Verts leads the league in passes into the opponent's box. I think it is, or into the final third. But one of those attacking stats, he's above everyone by like 20 passes. So it's like more than a game's worth of passes. If you go back maybe 3 months ago, I think he was like 7 or 8 on that list. So his confidence statistically we see is growing. And now I think hopefully we get some fitness, some solidity with the lineup going. These guys hitting their stride and we can make a good push, solidify top 4. Although it does look like England will have 5 Champions League seeds this year.
And I feel like
98% chance.
I feel like Mo is more comfortable now in playing better now that Wirtz is playing more centrally than out on the left. And they're playing well off of each other. And if we can keep that triangle of Ekitike, Wirtz, and Mo going, I could see us blitzing teams like we did to like I was texting with Henry in the first half on Saturday, and we're like, "Oh my god, like this is terrible." And
Mhm.
then Ekatike bangs that second one. I texted Henry right away. I go, "Sell Isak."
Mhm.
Like, I mean, we're not going to do that, but you can't tell me with the form that he's in when Isak finally comes back, like he can't be starting over him.
No, if you're not playing two up top, then no, Isak on the bench.
And I don't see with the way we're playing up front right now, how do we go to a two up top?
And honestly, if you were to go to a two up top, how is it not playing Mo and Ekatike? Like I would do something similar to I think Arsenal's done it from time to time, where they play two up top, but Saka is left really high and wide, but he has that freedom to drift in. Same thing with what you could do with Mo. He's natural out there. He'll come in. He's played central for us before. And we see now Ekatike has no issue dropping in deep, moving out to the left, switching in and out with players. I mean, he was coming back behind Gravenberch to pick up the ball when he was having some trouble getting it. He's got no issue coming in and playing.
I think the thing that drives me the most nuts about our transfer business last month is we know Connor's out. We know Frimpong is constantly hurt. How did
Joe
we not
Gomez too.
and try? Yeah, but like I consider him more of a center back than I do a wing back. But like I feel like we're just wasting Sobo's energy, youth, speed, sticking him back in that right back position. Like, how did we not have the ability to go out and find someone?
Matt, I could write a dissertation on this. I
Well, sum it up for me.
so the issue is you have a team where we're coming from Trent, who our right back was a creative fixture in our team. So what Slot's doing is he's dropping the best ball striker on the team, which is Ovislai, into that position to replicate a little of that. On top of that, he's got the size and, to your point earlier, the energy to cover the position. Here's the issue, though. The second you do that, you've taken the engine out of the car. There's
Mhm.
nothing to get the ball between that back line and the front line now, because Gravenberch will do it time for time, but that's not what he's made for. That's not what he does. McAllister is there to be a little more of the technique. He's not the I'm going to pick the ball up and run it 40 yards. When you remove that, now you're forced to play a long ball. But Liverpool doesn't play long ball. They want to play this possession based thing. And that's why they're turning the ball over in the midfield. They're getting these 4-on-3 breaks against our back line, and teams are smacking us on the counter. Because if you sit deep, force that, you take the guy who can break the play out. It's like we were saying before, drop Chiesa in there, because at least he'll go and just run around and not be in the same spot every single time. Defenses hate when you're not predictable. Because if I know every single time that, if I'm playing against Henry and I know when Henry gets the ball, Matt, you're going to be over my right shoulder on the touchline and I never have to go look. I just know you're going to be there. My job is so easy until the ball goes out there. But if all of a sudden you're on my shoulder, now you're on this side of me, you've dropped back 10 yards. I don't know where to look for you. And if you're moving around, who else is moving? But no, we're going to put 11 people in the same spot every single time and wait for Gakpo to kick the ball over the bar.
Well, yeah, because on Saturday, I want to say, I could probably say 4 or 5 times, Sobo got the ball on the right side, didn't have really anywhere to go up the channel with it, and he's trying to play a cross long ball 40 to 50 yards, and it's not getting over that defender. Gapco's not running onto it. Ball's getting headed back into our end, and then it's just a full-on onslaught of a press
Mm-hmm.
and a counter. And it's just like, it mystifies me. But then at the end of the day, I had to say to myself, I'm like, I never expected this scoreline against Newcastle. So I don't know if we've unlocked something or if it's just a one game,
I
stand
think
up.
it's Ekatike doing Ekatike things, and the rest of the team kind of rose to his level on the day. I would be very surprised if we see more 4-1, 4-0 score lines against teams of Newcastle's caliber.
Well, so we've got a huge game on Sunday, Man City. I
And
think they
it's big for
crushed us in
multiple
the transfer.
reasons.
Yeah, but they crushed us in the transfer window. We stood pat. They didn't. They didn't spend as much as us over the summer, but it's not like they didn't spend. And they bring in these two guys, and Samoyo and Gahey. I don't know. I mean, I'm glad the game is at Anfield on Sunday.
Mm-hmm. Well,
Yeah.
the scary thing there is you look at the Golden Boot race this year, and it's Holland, Thiago, and then Semedo when he was out Bournemouth, and they just brought him over. So now they have two of the top three highest scoring guys in the league on arguably I would say Arsenal is probably the best team right now on paper, but the best constructed team, I would say, is still probably Manchester City. And even if you go, I was looking up the transfer business before, they just loaned out like 15 players. And part of that, we knocked Chelsea for doing it, but there is a good model in there because the reason they're able to spend so much money is exactly what we talked about before. You had a guy like Oscar Bob came through the academy. You sold him for 27 million. You pick Gay up for 20 million. The other 7 million covers that discrepancy in weekly wages Liverpool wouldn't cover, and boom, you got yourself one of the best center backs in the league.
Yeah, the guy's going to be starting in the World Cup for one of the contenders in England.
Yeah,
and you picked them up for next to nothing. Who cares about the wages at this point? For us, it's got to be about chasing titles, not the accounting. They're making plenty of money.
Well, and that's the part that you look at the way everything was kind of structured and ran when Klopp was there, and they kept telling him, you have to sell to be able to buy. You have to sell to be able to buy, and they hamstrung him. And you think if he could have gone out and got every single target that he wanted, I mean, you got to remember, Liverpool were 4 goals away from the quadruple that one year. I mean, it would have redefined everything. And he did that after basically being told you have to let players go before you can bring anyone in. If it wasn't for the Coutinho money, is he able to bring players in to the level that we were? Are we even in the conversation for an Alisson or a Virgil? I don't know if we have either of them. You take the two of them out. We don't have our titles, probably. We don't have the Champions League. I don't know if we are playing in the Champions League as regularly as we have been. And Klopp doesn't go down in history as one of the best managers. Now, imagine him with financial support. He's in the same conversation as Pep. He probably wins a handful of those titles where we're, 1-2 games off.
What do you think of the rumors of him going to Real?
Not a chance.
It's not going. It's not going. It's because, again, the club has got too much player power, and he doesn't like that. He needs guys to be the manager. That was his role. That's why you brought him at Liverpool. The whole point was everything needs to be restructured again. Everything. Mm-hmm. And it looks like Real is going to need that soon, too, if they keep on going this route of just let the players do whatever they want. And maybe not. Maybe they don't care. Who knows? I really don't know. But
he could, but you're going to have absolute player revolt, to Henry's point. And if you have that type of revolt, is Real willing to go and get the types? Well, no, not only that, if they're not going to stand by him, then what's the point of bringing him in? But if you are going to stand by him, you're selling Vinny, you're selling Jude, you're selling half that team right away just because they won't go to the ethos of it. They still want their trips to Ibiza.
Look at every single player that had a scuffle with Klopp. What happened to them? You're benched the next week. I don't care. You're benched. I do not care if you're Mo. I don't care if you're Mane. What was the big blow up with the defender that we had, the French one? Oh, I like Momodou.
Paco?
Yeah, Momodou. Remember that big blow up? And because that
he was
happened
gone in January.
He was gone in January. Yup.
He got in a fight after Thanksgiving, and he was at Crystal Palace the beginning of January.
Well, right, Klopp's like, get out. Like, I don't want to deal with this.
The hierarchy at Real will never give A, the support, and B, the power and control that Klopp would demand.
No.
And they would side with the players over him, just like they did with Alonso.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's also,
you think about it. Zidane wants the French job after this World Cup cycle. They're going to go back to Ancelotti. They're going to go and beg him to come back because he knows how to massage that. Who else? You tell me who else? Like, we've seen Rafa there. We've seen Jose there. Like, we've seen a lot of big names there. They can't last because their principle of it's my way or the highway doesn't fly with the type of player that Real goes after and brings in.
I don't know if Ancelotti will come back, man. Have you seen those photos of him in Brazil smoking cigars? That guy is
loving
beaming,
life.
bro.
He wants. I think he's done with them. I think he's tired of that.
Yeah.
What's he got? He's got nothing to prove. He's got no reason to go back.
He has no reason. Yeah, John's right. What do I have to? What else do I have to win?
Like when you look at Ancelotti, his talent is what you were saying, Matt, being able to massage the ego of that Galactico type player. But when he first was doing it, the Galacticos actually were Galacticos. Some of these guys have the price tag of a Galactico, but not the performance of it. So why am I going to massage your ego? Like, why am I going to let you dictate that you get to start to me because you cost $90 million, but this kid over here is doing 10 times better than you? Why wouldn't I play him? Or you don't fit my system, but because the last manager bought you for $1 million or $100 million, I have to play you? That's where Real will always fall into that issue. Because, I mean, if you can't make Xabi Alonso work, managerially, there was no issue at the beginning. The records was speaking for itself. He's a club legend. But you wouldn't tell the players, hey, you got to listen to your coach. And there was a revolt, and I mean, the results tanked. I think the players' egos probably tanked their season because they looked like they could have won La Liga the way that the season started. The first 15 games? I think he was like 11-2-2. They were looking great. And then you have this little player revolt because, hey, you guys are staying out too late. Enough with the nightclubs, enough with the flights after games. Well, we get to do what we want. Well, no, you're a Real Madrid employee. I'm your boss.
I'm your boss,
Yeah. Well, we don't like that, so we're just not going to do our jobs as well.
Well,
and then he loses his job, but they're still getting paid and going to Ibiza. It's wild.
And then it's the stupid little things like the nutritionist also, too. Him and Xabi telling the guys, you guys can't have this many sweets in the morning before training. And they literally tell him, we've won like this all the time. You don't tell us what to do. I'm like, yo, he brought this whole training staff because you guys needed this help a little bit. Like, just a little bit more structure. And you didn't want it. And it kind of sucks. All the blow-ups happen in public, too. Very much in public.
And don't think that wasn't done on purpose.
Of course not.
All of Vinny's temper tantrums when he got the hook early in the games.
Oh, come on.
On the sideline. Come on, that was all done with purpose. And it just shows you that Real Madrid values the player more than they do the gaffer. And the reason why
because I can charge
success was the gaffers that they had.
Yeah, of course.
Their most successful times, Jose, who, I mean, we all know the issue with Jose. You get him for 2.5 years. You're going to win something, but 2.5 years is all you get because everyone's going to hate him by the end of it.
You think he would take this attitude right now?
No.
I would pay money for an Amazon series where one of those locker room Real Madrid with Jose going back. I would.
John, I think he would chew out so many players. I really think he would.
Could you imagine Vinny doing one of those temper tantrums, getting the hook in the 70th minute to Jose?
Oh, I can hear him. You can leave. I can hear it right now.
There would be an assault. There would be. I don't know who would hit who.
No, I think Mourinho would hit somebody, bro. I think Mourinho would hit somebody.
But like,
oh, we lost him. I don't think he could be able to take all those egos. I don't think so. Not at all. I think he would literally just be like, bored. Like John said, I need to get rid of these guys. I think Mourinho would say, "You need to leave. He needs to leave. That guy needs to leave. I'm not dealing with this.
But
I'm just not."
I think that comes down to he's got a style of play that requires you to put your ego aside. You
You have to
do
focus.
your job.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but
If everything's going well, yeah, have fun, but you got to do the job first.
Mm-hmm.
Vinny's not going to put his ego aside, and Mbappe's not going to put his ego aside. And I can tell you right now, like what I'm finding really disappointing and starting to really not like is Jude.
Yeah, Jude sucks. Right? Jude's attitude sucks right now, man.
I will always defend Mbappe because, yes, his ego is enormous, but he backs it up. He puts the effort in. So he'll go out, he'll complain, but he'll score you 2 goals at the weekend.
But will you still take that?
I'm okay with that.
Will you still take that if you don't win anything this season, though? Well, that's a big question. If you don't win anything this season at all, no silverware, which is, could happen for them this season, will you still go?
He's one of the only of the superstar Galacticos that I would give a slight pass to.
I'd hit him in the back of the head.
I think Jude and Vinny were directly responsible for Alonso leaving or being forced out. Let's call it what it is.
Oh, totally.
I think there were a handful of other players that went along with it because their influences in the locker room. And where I fault Mbappe is not the fact that he went along with it, but he didn't stop it. There is a story I heard about Roy Keane, who one of the greatest captains of all time, despite all his connections. But there was, Man U used to have a woman who would come in before match day and sign the training balls. The team would sign them, and then they auction them off to charity and donate to like the local hospital. And 2 weeks in a row, a handful of players, kind of blew the woman off. And Roy heard about it, and basically went up to Sir Alex Ferguson and said, "Hey, I need 10 minutes with the team before you come in today," and absolutely destroyed them. No one missed a signing the rest of that season. Name one player in that Real Madrid dressing room that would challenge any of those players over being late to training.
I can't.
Disrespecting the manager, anything.
None.
Roy went after them for not signing a charity ball. Something that these guys probably don't even think about. Now we're talking about your actual job. The fact that Mbappe didn't stand there and be like, "Hey, that's the gaffer. He tells you to do this, you do this, or you don't play," means that he doesn't have the respect of the locker room. Because I think the locker room is all out partying.
Well, it's also stating that the veterans have been gone too. The veterans would not stand for this. Any of the old
you don't
school
have
veterans,
Modric, you don't have a Toni Kroos, you don't have those guys.
I don't think
trying to do this with Ramos.
Yeah,
bro.
Right now, Real doesn't have glue guys. Right? They don't have the guys that can paste the team together and make it all work. It's too many me's and not enough we's. And to your point, John, what I hate about Mbappe right now is the amount of money that this club has invested in you. And, you're one of the top 3 names in all of world footy next to Messi and Ronaldo. Is how do you not stand up for the crest? How do you not stand up for the club and put all these other kids in their place? I don't get it. And what I'm really rooting for is I want to see Benfica beat Real. What's going to happen? What's going to happen after that?
Please.
We're talking about
give everything for 0-0 second leg 87th minute winner for Benfica. And then just the final 3 minutes and 5 minutes of stoppage time, everyone behind the ball in the box, and then final whistle, Jose peeling off in front of the Real fans. That's my dream.
Oh, I'm praying for it. Fingers crossed.
I mean, the good thing about that though is, look, Benfica's not doing great in their league right now, so Jose's definitely going to cut. Yeah. Oh yeah. Just one thing. This game coming up, and I think with Jose Masterclass, bring it out, dude. Please bring it out, because I miss seeing that in the big screen with him. I hated his attitude, but I can't hate his tactics. I can't. I I can't. They're just so good sometimes.
I can't support his style of play, but he's one of my favorite managers.
And I think all three of us can agree that I think we're going to get a coaching masterclass
I think.
in
Oh
this.
yeah. Especially since wasn't that player too that player / manager? He was a player before. Now he's their coach. Now wasn't he also underneath? Was he there with Jose?
The player when Jose was there.
He was a player, right?
Yeah.
But
So
I think
he knew-
here's the bigger thing. We're talking about one of the greatest coaching minds in the sport. I'm relatively new to this job.
Yes.
I don't know what his coaching
Used.
record is. I think he was
He
with
just-
the youth
he-
team. Yeah.
Promoted throughout all the U's. That's it, John. That's all he's been, is promoted through all the U's. That's all he's
Which-
been through.
Think
I mean-
about the amount of pressure that you're gonna tell me that board is not dragging him into the room and saying you absolutely cannot lose to this guy.
Do you think the
Mhm.
players might be a little weary too? We've seen them do it before. We've seen Real Madrid play a game where they looked uncomfortable. Do you think this might happen again?
I think we're going to see one or two players trying to do everything themselves. And if
Who's
the
out?
rest of the team doesn't follow that group, to your point, I mean, they're going to get disjointed. They're going to get very uncomfortable. And then that's where the tactician comes in and Jose can just start doing his thing.
Also, too, no Rodrigo, right? And no,
No.
They have two
And-
red cards for the first leg. Rodrigo and let me find
not Asensio, right? Is it Asensio? I forgot who it was.
And the first leg is at Real.
Which they need those guys to be there for them too.
It's huge for Benfica. It's huge for Benfica to get the return leg at home.
That's an enormous. Asensio and Rodrigo, are the two red cards.
Yeah, so it is
to
Asensio,
have
yeah.
that. So, and I know they got rid of the away goal rule, but still, even taking a 0-0 back home would be enormous in any matchup, let alone a matchup of this size against.
Real Madrid.
As much as we don't like them, we have to call them what they are. They're the absolute kings of this competition.
I want to see him
But,
go at it, bro.
Jose knows the stadium. He knows the crowd. He knows what Real is all about, and he's got to be chomping at the bit right now. He's probably in his office right now, game planning, watching film, coming up with his tactics. We only got a couple minutes. I want to switch over to another manager that I can't believe I'm saying this, but Michael Carrick at Man U, the job he's done since taking over.
Yeah, good for him, I guess. Yeah, not good for us though, but good for him. No,
I think.
But
Similar to what Real Madrid need, he's exactly what Manchester United need right now. The difference is Man U's going to go all in on Carrick. Real Madrid would go all in on their players. I can see. I hope his results get worse, but I can see him getting the job, being there. I can kind of see him being a bit like an Ollie. Like
I see it exactly like Ollie, dude. I do.
He's going to be that reminder of what Man U used to be. It's going to lift them a little bit. I do think Carrick is a little, at least from what I've seen, we only have, a 5-game sample. There's a little more tactically astute than Ollie, but I will also go back to smaller sample size. He hasn't been figured out by some of the better minds yet. So, but yeah, I hate to say it, but good for them, because kind of similar to Everton, I think the Premier League is better when Man U and Everton and some of those kind of the teams that have been ever present are there. And as much as a Liverpool fan, I would love to watch them go down. I think it would actually hurt the league and the product. But it's kind of annoying to see, especially as a Liverpool fan, where we wanted Xabi Alonso to come in, the ex-player to be the manager, the Steven Gerrard to come in and have the success. These guys went and got it. Damn them.
Well, I'm asking a question of who's gonna hurt them more. Is it going to be Ineos or is it going to be his tactics? And I'm thinking it's going to be Ineos. Yeah, yeah, I think it's going to be Ineos.
Yeah.
Well, when they're serving saltines and peanut butter to cut corners in the kitchen. Yeah.
I mean, what's his face wanted? Gru wanted Semenyo. He didn't get him, and he wanted him bad, and that's didn't get him. So I think it's going to be Ineos that's certain. They were trying to go for Gahey too. They were way out. They were like, we're the first ones to bow out. That's not happening for us.
They were still waiting for Verts.
Did they same thing too? And also Ikatike too. They were trying to talk to him. His camp said no right away. But I think it's Ineos that's going to hurt them more. I don't think it's Carrick. I think it's going to be Ineos that hurts them the most.
I think what Carrick could give them, and I hope they don't do, but is they kind of take a little bit of a page out of what Liverpool's been doing recently, and you're identifying players with talent that have also expressed an interest in wanting to play for Liverpool. So there's not that need to convince you to come here anymore. Desire is already there, and now we're saying you're good enough, let's get a price figured out. Whereas sometimes, you go into a negotiation with a player and the coach has to go and convince him that he's part of the plan and you're going to be here for X number of years. And this is when you have to start doing that. I don't believe that the player is fully committed to the project every time. Not every player, but a lot of them, there's numbers involved and emotions, this, that, and the other. But if you get to go play for a team you really want to play for, there's something special in that, which is why, as much as it hurt me when it happened, when Trent went to Real, I can't really blame him because you had a dream, you wanted to do it. I'm not going to lie, I'm taking a little joy in the fact that it's not working out. But I understand a player wanting to go to certain clubs. So if you can take that and identify it as part of your transfer policy, you're saving yourself a ton of work. But then you get the player on your side saying, I want to go there. Well, now the team's going to probably shave, $5-10 million off because they don't want to piss the player off. God forbid the transfer falls through. There's a lot of benefit there. And I think when you bring a club legend in as your manager, you have that draw because, he can sit there and go, look what I won here. You can do the same.
See, I think Alonso would be a good fit for Liverpool. I think Gerrard would be a terrible fit.
I think I'm the only one who's going to say no.
And I think that
you're still not convinced on Alonso?
He plays 3 at the back. We don't. Luis Enrique would be better, stat wise too, and how he goes.
I think
and seeing how his map goes, and seeing how he plays with forwards, and also how he likes to control the midfield, and how he has a good player there, I really think Luis Enrique would be better. Xabi, 3 in the back, it scares me because we don't have the players to play that either.
Well, that's the thing. We don't have the personnel just yet.
Yeah.
But if the rumors are true, if he was to come in, they'd be in for Van der Ven. We just picked up the kid from Senegal who's coming up. The Italian kid we got earlier will be back from injury. They'll have a plethora of center backs that they can play there. I would much rather Kirkez be dumb running up and down the left-hand side without having to worry about space behind him, because I think that would benefit him. Frimpong immediately gets better because he has less defensive responsibility. I see a lot of benefits in moving to 3 at the back. I wanted Slot to do it when we were having issues, but to Henry's point, we don't have the personnel once Gomez went down.
Oh, and I'm not suggesting anything about a change at the managerial position. I'm just saying I think that Alonso would do better at Liverpool than I think Stevie would. And I think it would really tarnish Stevie's legend. Xavi left, and went on to Real. So I don't really consider him to be a Liverpool legend, as great as he was for us back in those days. But come on, Stevie's a top
Stevie
5.
is the guy.
Yeah, he is. Yeah,
and if he was to bomb as the manager, I think it really hurts him.
Oh yeah.
I would never. You could back the Brinks truck up to me if I'm Stevie, and I would say no.
That's a good point because, his reputation, other than, and he's been forgiven for both of them, the little Chelsea drama, the transfer saga there. But again, Jose Mourinho taps you on the shoulder and says, I want you. How do you not turn your head? And, at the end of his career, he went to LA for a nice little retirement in the sun. I don't blame him. I got to go see him. So it made me happy. But yeah, you got to keep that aura intact. because I think he did a good enough job at Rangers that I don't doubt his managerial credentials, but they're not what Xavi Alonso's are.
Mm-mm.
No, and like, yeah, Rangers, big time name, big time club, but what's their only competition in that league? It's kind of like La Liga. You got one or two
Hmm.
teams that can play with you. It's
Yeah, I mean this year more
look at what
because
he
of
did. Look at what he did when he was at Villa.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
probably a more damning.
Yeah, so
But
if
I
you
also say Villa was a little too early in his career. I think he should have started, start in Scotland, start in League One Championship. I think,
Championship probably would have given him amazing experience, to be honest with you. That's a lot of games, John. That's a lot of games that
but
you
also
play.
it's a different type of play.
But
Like,
he would at least get used to pressure, though.
but also you have to learn different systems. You're going to come up
Yeah,
against very, very different styles.
yeah,
And
very
you're going to
much
have
so.
different compositions because, some of those teams are basically Premier League teams. That's why they bounce right back up. Others, you're mixing and matching. Also, squad construction is something people don't think about with managers, but you got to be able to not just pull people together for 1 year. You got to construct a squad that's going to stay together for 4, 5, 6 years, and not
Yeah,
just tank if you get let go.
and great competition still being in the FA Cup. Oh, I love that. Well, love that.
100%.
All right, boys. Well, we're up against it. We got the Carrick Ranger show coming on next. As always, I appreciate you being here. For all the listeners, thanks for joining. We'll see you on the other side. Boys,
Love you, boys. Never walk alone.
never walk alone.
Stand strong and proud from elite battles. We rise to the test. Champions League dreams will never rest. Kicking it back with Matt. Legends of the game. With every kick and score, we'll let our name rising high.